waste. She had here we go. Really, guys?
Hope you don't mind I let myself in. Now, are you gonna hold up your end and release Yui Mamiya? Come on. You and I can either try to make this work, or neither of us is gonna get what we want. So, you gonna make the call or what?
Hello? Yagami-san?
I'm with Kawana. You can let Mamiya-san go.
Got it. Will do.
Sorry about all this, Yagami. Why don't you sit down? Maybe it's time you and I had a heart-to-heart. How's Kaito holding up?
Kaito-san's recovering in the hospital. For now. Sawa-sensei is another story, though.
I can hardly believe it. She was the last person I wanted to get mixed up in all this shit.
If that's the case, why were you already waiting in her apartment? RK's top men were lying in wait over there to get their hands on you. So why was she the one lying on the ground? Answer me, Kawana. Was it because of you?
Would you feel better if it was?
How dare you?
You're thinking that if you hadn't stuck your nose in her affairs, she might be at home grading her papers right now. You tell me, is that what's eating away at you right now? Because if it is, you're mistaken. That guilt is mine alone to bear. It's my burden to carry. When I saw on the news that she had been murdered in cold blood, it felt like the whole world had stopped spinning to me. I would take it all back right now if I could. But unfortunately, to fix this, I'd need to turn the clock back further than you'd think.
You mean back to when you were a school teacher?
Yeah, basically. Back to when I still had a little faith in humanity. Seeing someone's life get cut short, you never really bounce back from it, do you? But I don't have to tell you that. I did my homework on you, Yagami. It seems you were a fairly accomplished lawyer. You even scored a murder acquittal. But we both know how that ended. The death of an innocent young woman. You and I are the same. We both have scars. And they're the type of scars that never fully heal.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
But for Sawa-kun, it was 13 years ago. The very day before Mitsuru Kusamoto jumped, she stopped me in the hall so she could tell me about how serious the bullying really was. Up until that day, I just assumed it was boys being boys, teasing. I figured it was harmless, that they'd get bored with it, and then they'd move on. I mean, come on. Kawai had to have been twice the size of Mitsuru, It's not like I'd seen any fighting, so I warned him not to overdo it, and eventually he would take the hint.
Well, according to what I was told, you smirked, actually.
Yeah, I guess that's what I did. I was too late. Sawa-kun had to point it out. Sensei, how could you be so blind, she asked. Her eyes were this piercing mix of pity and scorn. According to what she told me, nearly half the class was bullying Mitsuru. She said she'd seen him at the station. She made it sound like he had half a mind to jump onto the tracks right then and there. I'm not so presumptuous anymore. But back then, I used to think my students were my biggest fans. I thought I'd won their hearts and minds. But the look on Sawa-kun's face that day made me see the truth. I couldn't just go on smiling like nothing happened. So I decided to do my homework. The next day, I put a hidden camera in the classroom after school.
So you admit that you're the one who recorded that video?
Yeah. You saw it, right? Talk about the ugly side of kids. Hard to watch, wasn't it? Unfortunately, by the time I picked up the camera and saw what it recorded, Mitsuru had made his jump. I missed him by a few crucial moments. What happened in that classroom was the final straw. Later on, all the bullies were asked what happened. Each and every one of them lied. Kawai started it. It wasn't our idea, they said. To anyone outside of it, all they'd seen was Kawai forcing Mitsuru to do his bidding. So the people held culpable were Kawai and myself. The callous homeroom teacher who deliberately turned a blind eye. That was the day I began living my life with real purpose.
So you couldn't forgive your students who got away with bullying. You went so far. You put aside your own life to make sure they atoned somehow.
That's right. Mitsuru Kusamoto's still a vegetable. He's as good as dead. But I don't care. We have no right to forget about him.
You say that, even though Sawa-sensei ended up paying for it. I'll ask you again. Why were you at her apartment the other day? Don't dodge the question this time.
I wouldn't say I dodged it. But I suppose I should explain from the beginning. 4 years ago, there was a suicide at Sawa-kun's school. It was her own student this time. You know this, right? A student at Seiryo High School? Toshiro Ehara.
Yeah.
When she was in court, Sawa-kun had no choice but to say there wasn't any bullying. Soon as she told me that, I knew Hiro Mikoshiba would be my next target. Of course, she had no idea about any of that. When Sawa-kun learned Mikoshiba had been murdered, though, she reached out to me herself.
What did she want?
She had a sneaking suspicion that I was involved in his death. She called me a few times, prodding carefully for answers. Quite the perceptive lady, really.
And? What kind of answers did you give her?
I denied any knowledge of it, but at one point, she mentioned something kind of odd. That there was a detective at the school already investigating the incident.
Huh?
She meant you, of course. A detective already knee-deep into the case, despite the police barely even knowing about Mikoshiba. The police are a pain in the ass, but when an out-of-town detective comes sniffing around, that's bad. I knew I had to act fast to get you off the trail. Although, Sawa-kun was a problem too. I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone.
And then what?
First, I found out where the two of you would be meeting up, at that little cafe. Then, I hired the Liumang to step in. But you put up one hell of a fight. They had strength in numbers, but you would have taken out the whole group if I hadn't stepped in. Nonetheless, my other message went through. At the same time, Sawa-kun was handed a photo of Mikoshiba's final moments. I left that task to someone you know. Yue Mamiya. They hadn't seen each other in 13 years. Sawa-kun had no idea.
The lady in the sunglasses. Yui Mamiya was involved in that too?
Everything I did that night was intended as a warning to Sawa-kun. Although, I guess I didn't have to be so extreme about it.
Yeah. Sawa-sensei was too smart. She must have started suspecting that you'd had something to do with Mikoshiba's murder. After all, who else could have known we'd be meeting at that cafe? She'd have traced it right back to you.
Even if Sawa-kun had started to suspect me, I knew she wouldn't sell me out to the cops. We're too alike. The both of us lost students to suicide on our watch. That said, I couldn't bear the thought of dragging her down into the mess I started, so I scared her off, and I thought she would stay away. The day she was killed, she called to ask if we could speak in person. I could tell something was wrong. She was on the verge of tears the whole call. Then she broke down. I asked her why, of course, but she wouldn't give me a straight answer no matter how I tried to phrase the question.
So then what? Did you just waltz on over there? It doesn't seem like you.
Watch it. You don't know me well enough to say that.
Maybe. But I assume you had some sort of plan going in. Were you gonna confess to her?
Here's the thing. If she'd figured out that I was behind Mikoshiba, and it didn't sit well with her, I would have told her every last detail. Sawa-kun, no. I think she would have understood me. Or at least that's what I had believed. In hindsight, I think she was forced to make that call. Under normal circumstances, I'm sure she'd have rather washed her hands of me. Hard as it is to hear, I think she called me under duress. RK probably had her hostage. That would explain the vague responses. That's probably why her voice was trembling. It's tragic.
You mean it was RK? Why do they want you so badly anyway?
I don't know.
What?
If I knew their angle, I'd be doing more than just scurrying around.
You serious?
Believe me, I'm just as clueless as you are, much as I hate to admit it. Honest, I'm not thrilled that a small army wants my head on a platter. Have you noticed how RK seems to show up at the worst possible times? Someone must be pulling their strings.
Then we're on the same page. At least we agree on something.
Just a sec. Yeah. I'm still over here with Yagami-san. You're not being tailed by any of his guys, are you? Okay. Then I'll meet you right now. That was Mamiya-kun. She said she's free. You guys have been true to your word. Tell Sugiura-kun that I said thank you.
Now you want to go? We still have some business to settle here.
Now remember, I'm the handyman here. Let me do the dirty work. I don't know what else to tell you. But you need to get out while you still can.
If you disappear into the night, I don't want to go busting my ass just to find you again. Before you leave, I'll need some contact info. A phone number would be nice.
Oh, no need for that. As far as I'm concerned, this is goodbye.
I wouldn't count on that. You won't get away.
Now look at you!
Damn it! Get back here! What the... Where'd he go? Kawana! You guys again. You really need the masks? Come on, Kurakawa kids.
You heard that, right? The detective here already knows everything.
Kawana!
What are you going to do now? What do you think happens when he spills everything? Sounds like your lives are over, unless you shut him up.
But Sensei, you'll finish the job for us, right?
Huh? Is that you, Akahike?
Oh, he's even got a name to your voice.
Answer me, Sensei!
I know. I'll be the one to finish it. You just knock him out.
Okay then. Time to learn your lesson!
Come on. What kind of lesson is this? Here we go. Kawana? Oh no, Kawana! Really? So nice of you to stick around, Mamiya-san. Well, since Kawana couldn't stay, sounds like you're not out of the woods just yet, huh?
Hey. What are you doing?
Getting your identification on record, so you won't be a threat to us anymore?
What?
And I think you owe us after everything you've done. Expect me to come collect one of these days. Your carriage awaits, Mamiya-san.
Don't tell me we're going back to that dingy arcade.
We sure are. And try not to hold a grudge. It wasn't us who abandoned you. Higashi, you already called Saori-san and the gang, right?
Yeah, I let them know what's up. They said they'll head over when they're ready.
Did Shirosaki-sensei say anything?
Well, she was pretty stunned when I told her who Kuwana really is and what he's up to.
Sounding a little smug there, Higashi-san. Taking credit for the detective work you didn't even do? Back me up here, Yagami-san.
Whatever, man. Kuwana got away, and that's all that matters. Still, the task in front of us is finishing Saori-san's case. We have to clear up Ahara's crime once and for all. With Mamiya-san's help, of course.
Finally, I'm ready to get some answers. Well, we still got time till Shirosaki-sensei gets here. Why don't you take a breather, Yagami-san?
Huh? That'd be okay?
Sure. I'll call you once everyone's here.
Yeah, a break sounds good.
By the way, Higashi, has anything unusual gone down in Kamacho lately? Anything involving RK?
Yeah, about that. My guys are saying things have been a little too quiet since yesterday. Soma and Akutsu are out in Ijincho too. When they come back, they're in for a rude awakening. And they can pay for what they did to Kaito Aniki.
Make them pay? Aren't your Yakuza days behind you now?
That's not the Yakuza in me talking. That's just a problem I'm gonna be the solution for.
Isn't that exactly what a Yakuza would say?
Fine. Think of it as getting revenge for a brother. I'm doing the right thing, damn it!
Yeah.
Hey, Yagami-san, it's Sugiura.
Hey,
Shirosaki-sensei and the others just got to Charles.
got it. Then I'll head...
Thanks.
Really? You too, Genda-sensei?
What? Am I in the way?
Of course not. I didn't know you still did field work.
I figured if they could pull a fast one on Saori-kun, I'd at least want to look him in the eye.
Why are all these people here? What gives?
We've been waiting for you, Yagami-san. Mamiya-san is about to enlighten us on the truth behind the groping.
Good.
Oh, and I heard about Sawa-sensei.
Our condolences.
Looks like she got mixed up in all this when RK was chasing after Kuwana. But we're still not sure why they chased him. To figure that out, we'll have to retrace Kuwana's steps.
Exactly.
That said, let's start with the harassment charges, Mamiya-san.
Speaking of which, oh, anything else?
Yagami-san, you sure that's enough?
Yeah, I think we've got plenty. At the very least, we know that the prosecution's evidence can all be refuted.
The courts were being intentionally misled. I'm considering filing an appeal.
Are you saying you want a retrial?
I am. We'll reveal Ahara and Kuwana's plot and overturn the verdict they issued.
That might be harder than it sounds.
Why do you say that, Genda-sensei?
Well, the previous trial resulted in Hara being found guilty, right? As the client, if he doesn't want an appeal, there's no way you're getting one. Doesn't matter what any lawyer tries to do. If Hara refuses to appeal, then that's that.
Then we'll talk to him tomorrow. First, we need to see how he reacts to everything we've got on him.
Sounds good.
Will do.
So...
Sure are.
Yo, Yagami. You sure it was cool to let that Mamiya chick just go home?
Yeah? Why?
I mean, she helped Kuwana kill all those people. Aren't you gonna turn her in or something?
I would. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do?
Frankly, we don't have any proof of the murder she was talking about.
What, so this is all for nothing?
Nothing directly pointing to Mamiya anyway. Aside from Mikoshiba, no other bodies turned up. Which means all we can do is take her home, right? Sugiura is making sure she gets back safe.
Fine, forget it. Why are you still here? Everyone else went home already.
Come on, man, why the cold shoulder? Am I really that annoying?
You wouldn't be the guy I'd call to hang out with. So if you're done, then go.
Wow. Straight for the jugular, huh?
But if it's help you need, I'll be there. I've had nothing but time lately. But only if you bow your head and ask nice. Then I'll consider it.
I know for a fact you'd help me out regardless, so why waste a good bow? Thanks for the drink.
Dude, come on. That was your cue to bow and ask nice.
Really, guys?
So, you're recommending an appeal? I have that right? Did some new evidence come to light?
Yui Mamiya told us some things, like how you faked your alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. You wanted the sexual battery conviction, right?
Well,
Your goal was to avenge your son and humiliate the law on a grand scale.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ahara-san, we have a much better grasp of the situation than you think.
And what exactly have you grasped?
Like Yagami-san just said, you're innocent, as far as the harassment goes. As your lawyer, I'll file for an appeal, and we'll make sure the world knows it.
Thanks, but no. I'm scum of the earth. A pervert. The prosecution and the judge made that very clear in the verdict.
On the day of the crime, October 7th, at around 6:30 a.m., you were in Ijincho, not Tokyo.
Baloney. I was relaxing at home.
Except that you weren't.
Oh?
You wanted to give the man who pushed your son to suicide the beating of a lifetime. And you'd miss out on that opportunity if you were at home, which is why you were in Ijincho instead. Isn't that right? You and Kawana's former student staked out Mikoshiba's house until he left. Then you dragged your prey into a car and brought him to an abandoned building in Ijincho, which would later become a murder scene. Every bone on Mikoshiba's fingers was broken. Remembering how he pushed Toshiro-kun to his death, it's no wonder you'd go that far. You tortured Mikoshiba without a shred of remorse. You inflicted no small amount of pain and terror. There's no way you weren't there, and I'd put my money on that.
And then...
You need the whole play-by-play, even though you already know it?
Oh, not at all. I'm just fascinated by this outrageous little story.
As for what you did next after beating Mikoshiba,
it's quite a home video.
Without leaving anything on Mikoshiba's body that could be traced back to you, you slit his throat. Estimated time of death was around 7:30 a.m. on October 7th. You tossed the bloody coat and made your way to Ikebukuro Station, where Yui Mamiya was waiting.
Are you sure? I was at Ikebukuro by 7:30 a.m. Would have been impossible for me to kill Mikoshiba in Ijincho.
The person in the security camera footage in Ikebukuro was a double who imitated your likeness. The identity of whom belonged to Jin Kawana, the handyman in Ijincho. Or maybe you know him by a different name. Former high school teacher Yu Kitakata. So which name did he give you?
I don't know who you're talking about.
With Kawana in view of the security camera, you met up with Yui Mamiya at Ikebukuro first. That's where you touched the undergarments she had prepared. The police would later discover the trace evidence on your hands and pin the groping on you. Then you made your way to Shinjuku Station. After that, Mamiya and Kawana acted out the groping as they arrived at Shinjuku Station. Kawana jumped out of the train and Mamiya chased after him. And then, in the smallest of blind spots in a station absolutely packed with cameras, you were waiting for Kawana, who looked just like you. With the two of you matching, you were able to swap places in that huge crowd without anyone noticing. Kawana handed you the transit card used to pass the ticket gate. Just one piece of hard evidence that places you in Ikebukuro at 7:43 a.m. And right after the swap, Mamiya started calling for help. After that, well, we've all seen how the news reported it. You were caught in a public place with plenty of witnesses.
An active duty police officer arrested for sexual battery. The public outcry was very clear. As a result, despite it being your first offense, you were actually tried and convicted. The consensus is that it was a fitting punishment for someone so heinous. Even as your lawyer, I felt the same.
Have some confidence in yourself, Shirosaki-sensei. The prosecution, I'm in no position. There's nothing
Did Toshiro-kun ever tell you about the bully?
My son never confided.
And how did you know there was bullying going on? Sure thing.
So then, Ihara admitted to killing Mikoshiba, did he?
Off the record, yeah. He also admitted Kawana approached him to offer revenge.
That sounds like you were productive.
It's enough for us to move forward with the appeal, I'd say. How does that sound, Genda-sensei?
Genda-sensei?
The sexual battery and Mikoshiba's murder are the very same case. To clear Ihara of harassment, you'll need to prove he murdered Mikoshiba. But you don't have evidence he did, do you?
Ihara-san was captured on video committing the murder.
And the prosecution claims it's a fake, of unknown origins. The police are saying the same.
They're only saying that to cover their asses.
In reality, the sexual battery evidence against Ihara-san is what was really fake. At the very least, we can claim Yui Mamiya and the others aided in fabricating that, alibi or not.
You really think the courts will grant you an appeal for just that?
Are you saying that's not possible?
I wouldn't go that far. But Ihara won't admit to murdering Mikoshiba in court. Kinda significant, don't you think? So what chance do you have even if you do appeal? Without any decisive new evidence, you'll just end up splitting hairs over the original verdict. And what good'll it do other than damage your own reputation, Saru-kun?
To be honest with you, I feel like I've been deeply underestimated.
What?
Saori-san, are you actually mad?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I am.
You have every right to be.
Listen, Sensei. Ihara and Kawana devised this plan knowing full well they could manipulate the justice system. Have we not fallen right into their trap? If we take pity on the prosecution now, we play right into their hand.
True.
So how can we worry about reputation when our duty as lawyers is to face the law?
I understand where you're coming from, and you're right to think it, but...
And another thing. While acting as Ihara's defense in the first trial, I never truly believed the claim. I didn't trust the person I was defending, and I felt sick to my stomach even being in the courtroom. Ihara likely saw right through that. He probably took great delight in our myopic dedication to the law, and I won't stand for that. I'm gonna show him exactly what I can do.
What about you, Yagami? I want to hear your thoughts.
I know what you're really saying, Genda-sensei.
That's right. She expects to defend a harassment case by proving a murder. What if she's biting off more than she can chew? Attacking the credibility of the police and prosecution, and if she comes out of this...
That's a valid concern.
Excuse me, can I ask you two why this is even a topic?
Hey, why me?
Am I wrong? Then tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah.
We should listen to Saori-san. I understand why Ihara and Kawana did what they did.
I see.
Yes. Mikoshiba's murder, the fake groping alibi, the one behind...
You heard him.
Hello?
Yagamishi, are you still in Kamurocho?
Yeah, why? What's up?
I'm afraid our case seems to be amassing in Ijincho. It's very bizarre.
Are they now?
Yeah, I can't shake the feeling that the officers like Soma and Akutsu are still in town.
You think so? If I was Soma, I'd have left Ijincho by now. He's a person of interest in Sawa-sensei's murder, too.
I see. That does make sense.
Things are settling into place here, though. I'm heading back to Ijincho with Sugiura. We got a lot to go over with you when I get back.
Wonder what it could be. Okay.
guys.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, now that's something.
Kuan.
Waste. Hello?
It's Shirosaki. Do you have a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
I was thinking back on our interview with Ihara-san, so I wanted to ask your opinion.
Which part felt off?
The part about Kuwana approaching other bullying victims besides. Ihara-san also mentioned...
Yeah.
Yagami-san, back.
That was quick.
Well, the day's not over yet. I need you to look. She might be the one behind RK.
Really?
Yeah. Can you pull up?
Okay. Take a look at this, Yagamishi. It hasn't even been a full year yet.
Looks like she's still got a good rep.
Yeah, there's almost no criticism of her out there.
The Ministry Revolution. Bucking the bureaucracy. Golden parachutes don't fly with Kusamoto. Go her. Vice Minister's pretty high up there, yeah?
Big time. If she really did take Kawana up on his offer, silencing him would be the quickest way to save her skin. And in that case, she'd need some kind of connection to RK.
Some kind of connection? A bit vague, no?
Fair enough, but RK already took an innocent life while hunting Kawana down.
Right. And after killing Sawa-sensei, they tried to kill me, too. Still, no matter how dangerous the gang, murder is a risky proposition. Then again, if someone's pulling the strings, they have a lot less to worry about. Especially if that someone has vice minister status.
Well, the internet's not gonna give us much else. How about we do our usual thing? Go straight to the source.
Maybe we should.
Would it really be that easy to get a meeting with someone like her?
Mitsuru Kusamoto's still in a coma, right?
Yes?
If he's in a hospital, we can catch her by surprise there.
I get ya. That might work.
Huh. What's this now?
What's what now?
Breaking news from the net. It says manhunt for Sawa-sensei's murderer.
And?
It's hitting the network news, too. The person they're after is...
Wanted for the murder of private school teacher Yoko Sawa in her own apartment, Kanagawa PD is conducting a search for the suspect, self-proclaimed handyman Yu Kitakata. Nearby
Why are they looking for Kawana?
Shouldn't they be after Soma?
It's also surfaced that he's been using a false identity for over a decade. The police are hopeful that their search will turn up some sort of connection to Sawa-san.
If Kawana-san was caught on camera, then surely some RK thugs were as well?
Yeah, I think so. On that note, I should have been in the footage too. The police only seem to want Kawana, but why? Guess we'll have to ask them ourselves.
Ask who?
Detective Watanabe from Kanagawa PD. He was the guy in charge of Mikoshiba's murder.
Been a while, hotshot.
Yeah, I guess it has. Hey, I'm curious. Do you have any evidence that Kawana killed Sawa-sensei?
I take it you saw the news. Kawana was caught on camera near the crime scene. Plus, he knew the victim. And if that's not enough, he was using a fake name. How's that for evidence?
But I saw Soma holding an ice pick up to Sawa-sensei. Plus, there were RK footprints all over the scene. So why is Kawana the only suspect?
Because the big boys with big balls at HQ said so. Barking at me won't get you anywhere.
So this is all just pressure from upstairs? What is going on here?
Why are you so bent out of shape? Kawana's a legitimate suspect, and all we're doing is following procedure. So stick your private investigator schnoz somewhere else.
You know, you sound pretty bent out of shape yourself. Where are you right now?
Uh-huh.
I was thinking maybe we could meet up. How's a free pass to bitch about your work sound? Abe-san?
On the phone, in person, there's nothing I can tell you.
He hung up.
Yagamishi, I managed to focus in on the background noise from your phone call. Despite all the interference, I have a good idea of Nabe-san's location.
What? Seriously?
He's on the main drag in Chinatown. If you go now, I'm...
But is he even gonna listen to you?
It won't matter if I miss him because we sat here wondering.
Yagami Detective Agency. Quick on its feet indeed.
Can't compete with that.
Yagami, why are you here?
Oh, hey, Nabe-san. And you were...
Sakurai?
Oh, right.
I take it you didn't just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Let's just say some friends of mine have a real keen sense of smell. Something stinks about the cops here.
Excuse me, pal?
The Sawa case. Why aren't you going after RK? Or are you, and you're just keeping me in the dark?
This isn't the place to talk about that. What the... Hey!
I get the feeling something's keeping you guys from doing your jobs. And I don't have to listen to you.
You want to say that again?
Sakurai, I gotta hit the can. Head back to the station.
Huh?
Need to take a piss, Yagami? You're looking hydrated.
Yeah, good call.
Then let's.
Damn. What's he up to?
Nice spot you brought me to. Very romantic.
Well, we're about to have a shitty conversation. Might as well do it with a pleasant view.
Do the cops really believe Kawana is responsible for Sawa-sensei's death?
We wouldn't be looking for him if we weren't serious. We even have a warrant.
To arrest Kawana?
His real name's Yu Kitakata. He's been using a fake. And he services right at the murder scene of his former student. In my eyes, he was suspicious enough.
What about Soma from RK? He should have been spotted on the nearby cameras too, like when he entered her apartment.
He wasn't.
How is that possible?
Let me rephrase. There's no footage that had RK anywhere near it.
What's that supposed to mean?
From the moment Mikoshiba's murder went down, the higher-ups have been busy playing politics. I had a handle on things when they were just competing with Tokyo PD over who got to grill Ihara. But after that murder footage came out, it really stirred shit up. Sawa-sensei's case has me scratching my head, too. Someone at the top is trying to keep details under wraps. And they think it'll work even in this day and age.
You're saying the whole force is in on a cover-up?
It started with the footage surrounding Sawa's apartment. Someone on the inside erased it. Any footage that had the RK guys tagged in it is totally wiped.
Erase the footage? Are you serious?
Yeah. You heard me. Kawana leaving her place is all that's left. Even the parts where you show up are long gone. Before and after, the only person that the cameras pin the crime on is Kawana himself.
Who would go so far to erase the footage? Who would do something like that?
It's time to let it go, Yagami. Mikoshiba's case and Sawa-sensei's case, they're closing the book. And to tie up the loose ends, and this is the shitty part, Kawana has to die in an accident.
What?
As soon as they track him down, they'll put him into custody and then blame it on negligence. They'll say he resisted arrest and died in the struggle, I guess. Someone clearly wants Kawana gone, and they have the power to do it.
Come on. Who could have that power?
Kawana is clearly a target of someone higher up. Even if he sees it coming, he won't be able to stop it. As far as I'm concerned, the case is closed. You wouldn't understand until you've been on the force. When the team you're playing for is rotten to the core, all you can do is look the other way. As for me, I'll stick to the cut and dry cases for a while. That's what'll keep me an honest cop.
That's bullshit! You'll shut the lid on the trash, ignore the smell of the rot coming from inside and go on pretending it's justice? And then you call that being an honest cop?
Asshole. Did you forget that you were talking to a detective?
You never did answer the question, Nabe-san. Who had the authority to erase the security cameras? Who wants Kawana dead so bad that they do it inside?
Even if I told you, what the fuck could you do about it, Detective Smartass? Leave it alone, Yagami. It's for your own good.
Is that your call? Well, I think I'll be the judge of that.
You little piece of shit! I've had enough! Dead son of a bitch! I think it's time you cooled off!
Oh god, no.
Let's hear what's up! Give up already! Dead son of a bitch! Here we go!
Come on, bring it! Let's go! Let's play
I think it's time you cooled off! Have a drink!
Oh god, no.
Get up already!
They broke the lock and forced their way into Sawa-sensei's place. That's when Soma came in. I'm sure she was terrified. They were pointing an ice pick at her. When I found her, her eyes were still open. I could see the tears. Yet the police are going after Kawana instead of Soma. And the cops that were there know he isn't a suspect, but say their hands are tied. So it'll be my voice you hear instead of hers. And when they come to silence me, I'll know who the puppet masters are.
I hear you. You're probably right.
And if you have any idea who might be pulling the strings, I need you to tell me before it's too late. Is there anyone on the force who would want Kawana dead?
The moment we opened Sawa-sensei's case, the Kanagawa brass had a suspect file ready to go. They didn't point to your guy Soma. They named you Kitakata, alias Kawana the handyman. Hilarious, isn't it? We were the first to the scene, which means the bigwigs pulled a suspect file before it even happened.
Where'd the info about Kitakata come from?
Not sure. But the National Police Agency said it came from public security.
Public security? Why is public security involved in Sawa-sensei's case?
Seems they were interested in RK's criminal network in Kamurocho. You know how after the Tojo clan disbanded, the criminals started going underground? Well, public security would rather let RK roam free than bust them. Monitoring them quietly gives them intel on criminal movements. And even if you catch these guys, no one's will just take their place.
Wait, so they want RK on the streets? Is that why they're brushing Sawa-sensei's case under the rug?
If RK goes down in one fell swoop over a murder case, they have to find a new source of intel. Purely speaking, from public security's point of view, that is.
Unbelievable.
Not that they'd ever say that out in, well, public. If you believe public security, there's no way RK killed Sawa-sensei.
What the hell? Do they even have a reason?
Not that I'm aware of. On top of that, I asked Tokyo PD about Soma, but he doesn't have a record. No priors, no census registry, not even a damn profile pic.
Then, what does that mean?
The man known as Kazuki Soma doesn't exist, basically. Maybe that's how it's always been, or maybe it's a cover-up. They had plenty of files on Kuwana to send our way instead. They're the ones who made him the prime suspect in Sawa-sensei's case, too.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Kuwana's a scapegoat for RK. Public security wants to shut the curtains on Sawa-sensei's case with him. As far as they're concerned, with Kuwana silenced, it'll all balance out.
So that's what you meant by Kuwana having an accident.
Right. Better to flesh your shit than keep a lid on it.
So who's running the show in public security? Do they have a name?
I wasn't told, unfortunately. Afraid I'm further down the food chain than you thought. Yeah, Watanabe speaking. Huh? Jincho?
Huh?
Right. Got it. Call me if anything else comes up. Kuwana's been spotted. A witness reported seeing him in Jincho.
Seriously? He's back here?
Couldn't say for sure.
Where's he at?
Fukutokucho, in Koreatown, where the Komi Jewel hang out. The police are headed there now.
Komi Jewel?
Apparently it means spider web in Korean. You haven't seen it? It's made to look like it's abandoned.
And Kawana's there?
You're not gonna say you got that from me, right?
I don't have much time. You said Kawana might have an accident, didn't you? I'm sure that's why you're telling me all this.
If you find him, let him know it's public security that's after him. They mean business.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。
Why is this always? Here we go.
And stay down. Excuse me.
ありがとう。
Yagamishi, it's me. I have an update for you. It seems Kawana has been spotted in Ijincho.
Yeah, in Komijo, right? I'm headed there now.
Ah, fastidious as ever. But the police have already started blocking off Komijo.
Already?
They're probably going to surround the area and gradually close in on Kawana-san. What's your plan, Yagamishi?
Public security is probably behind that. And according to Nabe-san, once they capture Kawana, they'll end up in an accident.
An accident?
Long story short, I need to find Kawana before the cops do. Can you navigate me to him?
I most certainly can. For now, just keep heading toward Komijo. In the meantime, I'll be monitoring the surrounding area. Oh, and I'll dispatch Sugiurashi.
Appreciate that, Tsukumo.
This is Tsukumo. Yagamishi, please come in.
Hey, I think I'm in front of Komijo.
Indeed you are. I can see you from the drone.
Then you'll notice the cops block the road. Any way I can get in there?
Not to worry. I've already looked into an infiltration route.
Better be careful. Way to go. So, what should I do?
Can you see the white car that's parked in front of the barricade?
Yeah, I can.
There's a really small gap on the side of the car. It'll be a tight squeeze, I'm sure, but I have...
Yeah, but...
You can leave that part to me.
Tsukumo, where should I go from here?
Komijul proper seems to be located behind those construction fences. There's one door in the fence, so that's your best bet.
Tsukumo, can I get a hand?
Just leave it to me.
Oh, I see now. Tsukumo, where should I go from here?
Komijul proper seems to be located behind those construction fences. There's one door in the fence.
I see now. Tsukumo. Huh?
Didn't Tsukumo-kun tell you I was on my way?
Yeah, suppose he did.
Yagami-san, all these guys are RK.
Does that mean RK beat the police to Kawana?
No, not exactly. I just saw some cops let RK guys through. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
No, that was no mistake. Some cops are working with RK.
But why?
Someone in authority on the force is trying to get rid of Kawana. So they want him to have an accident.
What? That's off the scale insane.
Insane or not, I need to get to Kawana before RK or the cops do. You know where he is?
I don't. Come to think of it, why would Kawana-san come to Komijul? Does he know someone here?
Good question. Let's just focus on reaching the top of this place for now. Aren't there people from Komijul here? It can't be all RK. Maybe we can ask them where Kawana is.
Worth a shot. As long as we don't give ourselves away. That looks like a lot of RK muscle to me, Yagami-san.
Yeah, but if that many are out searching, the silver lining is that they don't have a lead on Kawana.
True. I don't see anywhere else we can go. So let's go up those stairs.
Looks like this is the highest we can go.
Yagami-san, we've got RK coming in from below, too.
Let's find another route on this floor. Suspicious.
Yeah, we should be able to get up from here. Yeah. There we go.
Damn, wish I was that nimble.
Good work, Yagami-san.
Yo, you guys are Komi Jewel, aren't you?
Huh? Komi Jewel? Us?
What's going on here, man? This place is empty. Lead the way, would you?
Yagami-san, they seem like RK.
I'd rather not have to bullshit them.
So, take them down?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yagami-san, looks like the top floor is up ahead. There's a room on this side too, though. Might be worth checking out. Wish we'd had some sign of Kawana-san, but maybe we'll still get lucky? Are you ready to go, Yagami-san?
Yeah, let's go.
Man, where is this fucking guy? This shit's taking forever. Yeah, it's not like anyone else is here. You think the cops got it wrong? Then what do? Keep looking? Is there a fucking point?
Seems like Kawana-san's giving them a slip. What's the plan now?
Let's find out what RK's gonna do when they catch Kawana. Are they planning to kill him themselves?
What? You gonna just stroll up and ask him?
Well, I only count 4 of them. So 2 each. Piece of cake.
I guess.
Okay, let's go. Hello, gentlemen. Got a couple questions for you.
Huh? Who the hell are you two? You with the Kome jewel?
Wow, they don't even recognize you, Yagami-san?
Well, that's kind of sad.
What's going on here?
Huh?
Yagami-san? I don't think it's just 2 each anymore.
Yagami? Hey, that's the detective from Kamurocho. A detective? Just get him! They're with Kitakata! Fuck yeah. Let's get it started. I've been waiting for this shit.
Great. 4 of them.
Let's go. Here we go.
Let's play it by
Let's do it. Here we go.
That all you...
Let's not jinx it, man.
You guys came looking for Kawana, right? What were you gonna do to him?
We were just told to catch him. Not sure what comes after that.
You sure the plan wasn't to kill him?
I said I don't know!
Who gave the order here? Soma?
It was Akusa-san. Probably on Soma-san's orders, though.
Hey, Yagami-san?
Hey, how come Ijincho has so many creepy masks?
I was just gonna ask you.
Kuwana's not here.
Huh?
That intel was fake. We were the ones who put it out.
You live here? Then you must be Komicho.
Normally, it's us hiring the handyman. But this time, it was Kuwana asking the favor.
Huh? To put out false information?
Yes. He said he wanted to see what kind of enemy he was dealing with, and how they'd respond to an eyewitness report. Seeing as how easy police info made its way to these thugs, I'd say he was wise to use caution. Were he any closer, he would have been ensnared by now.
So Kawana's nearby, watching everything unfold as we speak? He's really in Ijincho then?
We'll have to clear the room to discuss that.
Hey! Why are you looking at me?
Sorry.
As you said, Kawana's returned to Ijincho. There are benefits to being here that only he can exploit.
Where's he hiding out?
Under the protection of Tesso from the Yokohama Ryomon. But you're cleared to see him. We already took care of that.
Kawana actually said he'd meet us?
Come on. There's a way through the cops don't know. You can get out to the city from there.
That'd be helpful, thanks.
Guess you're not so bad after all.
Bear in mind, you may not leave alive if you come back. You were never welcome here.
And never mind. So, where do we find Kuwana-san?
I'm sure the Ryumon will lead us to him. Just so happens I've got a brother there named Tesso.
Oh, what?
Now let's get there before Kawana changes his mind.
Yeah, let's go. Wait. Wanna slow down, Yagami-san?
And stay down.
I thought I could keep up.
いらっしゃいませ。
Starving. Pretty tasty. Thanks.
ありがとうございます。
So, you're Yagami Yaniki? Tesso-san told me to let you in. Will you be coming inside?
Sure, let me
This way, please.
Bro, hey man. Welcome back, friends.
Tesso Aniki? Do I have to call you that?
Take a seat. And you too, buddy.
This'll be fun.
And which of your names should we be using for you now? Kawana? Or do you prefer Kitakata-sensei?
Kitakata's a name that's been all but murdered by society. In Ijincho, I'm just a merry old handyman Kawana-san.
If you ask the cops, you're the murder suspect, Kitakata. After killing Sawa-sensei, you fled the scene. At least, that's the story the police top brass are passing down through the ranks. Now, why would they say something like that about you?
How come you never relax?
So Kawana hired you guys from the start, and you pretended to not know each other in front of me? If that's the case, you really went all out for me.
Didn't I tell you? The Liumang accepts anonymous requests, too. Tesso didn't know I was the one who hired him. I suppose there's no point in hiding that now.
That's just how it is. Nothing to get mad over, bro.
You really aren't hiding anything? Did you tell him all you've done?
He's a former high school teacher who's going around killing bullies. Can't be much more to hide than that. Do you need any more convincing?
Honestly, I'm at a loss. I worked my ass off to get where you are.
And I'm still trying to untangle the mess you've made of it. You've got my student helpers by the throats. So I'm really backed into a corner here.
You mean the graduates from Kurokawa Academy? Like Mamiya-san?
Very good, Sugiura-kun. So how about it? No reason for us to doubt each other's intentions, right? All the secrets are out in the open now.
Fine. Then I'm gonna light up.
You were just over at Komijou, weren't you? RK was looking for me there. The police even lent them a hand.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm even more confused. I give up. Who in the world could be after me? Who has influence over both RK and the police?
Care to venture a guess?
They'd be the uneducated guesses of a handyman. You got any bright ideas yourself, Master Detective?
I haven't confirmed it for sure yet, but I have a pretty good theory for it.
Oh? Who?
The Public Security Division. That's what a detective from Kanagawa PD said. According to them, you're the prime suspect in Sawa-sensei's murder. That's why Kanagawa PD was told to lay off RK. Any trace of RK in the footage near Sawa-sensei's place is gone. Likely public security's work. And with that kind of backing, it's understandable why RK is so confident.
Yo, hold up again. Why is public security after Kawana in the first place?
This is all to preserve RK. Public security doesn't want them to disappear. That's why they're trying to close the book on the case by saying Kawana killed Sawa-sensei.
But why?
In Kamurocho, with the Tojo clan disbanded, ex-Yakuza are scattered all over the place. RK has absorbed them into their network, and public security is monitoring them to keep the peace.
Then why is RK after Kawana-san? Was public security already helping them at that point?
Huh? Well, I'm not too sure.
Come on. We're screwed if we can't figure this out.
Right. Give me a sec to think. They might be trying to protect the prosecution's reputation.
Huh? What do you mean?
Kawana fabricated a sexual battery and and got a guilty verdict out of the prosecution. And that was used as an alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. If that goes public, prosecution's reputation will be in ruins. That's why public security needs to silence Kawana quietly.
Oh.
You think public security would go through all that to protect the prosecution's rep?
Okay. Can't...
Yeah. I'm starting to have doubts myself. Public security is probably working for Reiko Kusumoto, Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health.
What?
Kawana, you had your students kidnap Shinya Kawai, right? 5 years ago in Kamurocho? Kawai bullied Reiko Kusumoto's son, Mitsuru-kun. That painted a target on his back for you. But before you took Kawai out, you approached Reiko Kusumoto with your revenge offer, didn't you? Ahara told us that. Before taking revenge on a bully, you'd approach the family about it first. Did you make the same offer to Reiko Kusumoto?
What if I did?
She's the Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health, and she's pretty popular. She's even cleaning up her predecessor's mess. If it were to surface that she agreed to a revenge killing, they'd have yet another massive scandal on their hands. And if you get to go down in cuffs instead of a body bag, that detail may just come out. Before that can happen, Reiko Kusumoto plans to
have me silenced and use public security to do it.
Exactly. Except public security can't just go after you. So they subcontracted RK to do the dirty work. That would explain why public security is trying to cover for RK.
I see. Well, the logic starts off soundly enough.
Something wrong with it?
Unfortunately, yes. Something does stick out.
And what's that?
I did, in fact, approach Kusumoto-san 5 years ago about taking revenge on Shinya Kawai. And just as you said, I used Mamiya-kun and the others to kidnap Kawai.
And?
From that point on, Kusumoto-san knew I was directing Mamiya-kun and the others. She'd seen their faces, knew their identities, everything. So, if Kusumoto-san wanted to go after me, Mamiya-kun and the others would be first on the list. But the fact is, public security hasn't laid a finger on them, even now, which means Kusumoto-san isn't the one giving them orders.
Sure, that makes some sense.
Hey, so sorry if this is off topic, but what was Kusumoto-san doing when Shinya Kawai was killed 5 years back?
She was standing right there with me. Afterwards, she took 3 days of PTO, and that was a first for her.
Why?
Shinya Kawai died at the hands of Kusumoto-san. She drove the knife into his chest personally. She took it slow, making sure he suffered the whole time. Just like Akihiro Ehara, she avenged her son with her own 2 hands. I admire her.
She killed Kawai herself?
Afterward, she told me she'd never wash the smell of his blood off her hands.
Damn, man.
I was the only one who knew that, by the way. The others have no idea. On that day 5 years ago, I sent them straight home after they brought me Kawai. And I was the only one with Kusumoto-san when she killed him.
This sounds way too crazy to be real.
Even so, the fact is, Kusumoto-san hasn't betrayed me. Besides, I doubt the Vice Minister is powerful enough to order public security around.
Then who is giving them their orders?
Well, I'd say your theory's on the right track. I'm sure